Hello YouTube, how you doing? It is a beautiful day, August 30th. That's one thing I can say. I've been home for the summer, but every time I stepped outside in the month of August, it's actually been a good month. It hasn't been that hot. One day, the day that I went to Staten Island, went to work Force One. It was a little hot, but it wasn't overwhelming, because what happened was it was a moment where it was hot, and then it was, breezy like how it is now. Like, it's very nice, it's very breezy. So it hasn't been bad, And I was thinking about that. I was like, because I previously during the summer, I've worked with kids during the summer in the summer camp, and my main thing was they always want you to do these long ass walks with the kids to the train station. Like, they'll never tell you to go to the closest train station. They want you to go further, and sometimes those walks could be up to a half an hour in 100-degree weather, and I'm like, I just wasn't with it. And I haven't done that since 2018. And then the pandemic, I went back to security. So hopefully this will be my last year. And when I say year, I mean last 4 months. But God always has a plan, I guess. And all things happen for a reason. So I try not to be too anxious, because all things happen for a reason. But today I wanted to talk about something that I saw on YouTube that was very, very interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So the question of the day, well, it wasn't really a question, it was a statement. It was a lady who said that if a woman is married, she shouldn't have any male friends. And then everybody in the comments pretty much agreed. And someone took it further and was like, when you're married, you're not supposed to have no friends at all. And I'm like, what type of relationship is that? Like, first of all, and I'm speaking from a child's perspective, because, what I've seen with my own parents. I had one parent who had a balance, my father. He had a career, he had friends. Like, he literally balanced everything out. And my father taught me that. He taught me balance. Like, when I performed and I had my little performances, whatever, my father was always there. He never missed anything. However, my mother, that's a different story. She didn't work, she didn't have a career, but she would miss stuff, and then she expected me to be her friend. And that's what kind of caused the disconnect between us. Like, and my father would always tell her, like, yo, you need friends. And she would always, like, not want friends. I don't know where that comes from. If it's, I think it's called own insecurities. But basically, you can't do that, because naturally, your husband has his own life, right? The kids, when they get to be teenagers, forget grown. When they get to be teenagers, they're going to have their own life. They're going to want to go out with their friends. They're going to, be a part of clubs and sports. And what you going to be doing? And when I say friends, you don't have to necessarily be with the person every weekend. I'm not saying that. But somebody to talk to on the phone, or just somebody to go out and have drinks with. Girl talk, the mall, whatever, just to have that woosah. Why is it that so many people are in therapy? A lot of the times is because they have no one to talk to. Or they refuse to tell people, and there's nothing wrong with therapy, but a lot of people end up in therapy because no one to talk to. If you have someone to talk to, then you know, it won't be a problem, right? It wouldn't be a problem. But a lot of people, they keep stuff and, you know, they become crazy, and then there you go. Okay, now it just got really warm. But yeah, so it was one comment that said he told his girl, go text the dude and see his response. As far as, like, she was like, text him that you want to sleep with him. Something crazy. And she said, no, she's not going to do that. He was like, he broke up with her for that. I'm like, you broke up with somebody because they went and messaged them something stupid? Like, what? So you just wanted to break up with her. That don't even make sense. You know. But I said all that to say this. A lot of the times, your friends will be there after the marriage is over or after the relationship is over. They always say men come and go, because they really do. And even if you stay married to these men, a lot of the times, they're not going to help you babysit. They're not going to help you with a lot of things. So, you know, a lot of the times, now on the flip side, I wanted to talk about the flip side. You do have friends that you need to cut off. Even if you're single, there are people that you need to cut off because they're very negative. So if you have a friend who, every time somebody's in a relationship, they always got something negative to say, cut that person off, because when you're in a relationship, they're not going to be happy for you either. Right? Be very observant with people like that. Be very observant with a woman who wants to party all the time. I'm single, right? I didn't just come out of a relationship, but I'm single. But I would never hang out with a chick that's like in the club like every night and every weekend. I keep my arm's length. So I'll see you once or twice a year, but I'm not going to be BFFs with that person. And I feel like that's what everybody. Keep your arm's length. Like, my father always taught me that. I was like, yo, Dad, how do you have friends for... My father's 67. He got friends for 50 years. I'm like, how do you keep the friendship so long? He said, because we not in each other's business. Like, he was like, that's what's wrong with y'all females. Like, y'all be all up into each other. Keep your arm's length. Keep your arm's distance with people. And it's true. And it's not to say they not your friend, but it's true. Keep your arm's distance from them. Nobody should know what's going on in your household. Nobody should know, like, specifics about your marriage or your relationship. And as women, naturally, we talk. So that's the downfall of our friendships, because we expect way too much from each other. Because you keep your distance. Go out for drinks, come home and whatever. So, yeah. But if someone's negative, like, with my previous dude or whatever, he had a lot of negative friends that he would tell me about. And he used to speak so negative. I said, if these people are so horrible, why are you around them? Like, none of us have perfect friends. But the stuff he was saying, I was like, huh? Like, make it make sense. Like, make it make sense. But yes, if a person's negative, if the person's not encouraging you to be a better mate. I remember I had a former friend. She was married and she actually spread rumors about me. But she was very unhappy, obviously. But even though I was single and I didn't have a mate at the time, mind you, I'm young too, I would tell her, like, make sure the house is clean before he get home from work. Make sure that I would help her wash the dishes, stuff like that. Like, I was being a positive friend or whatever, you know, because she was like, well, I got this homework to do, because she was in school at the time. She was like, well, I got this homework to do and I'm home with the baby. I said, yeah, but you got to know how to balance. Like, don't know. One thing I do know about a man, he don't want to come home to no dirty house. And you in the house all day, the least you could do is have it clean. Period. You know, So I feel like if you don't have positive friends to lead you in the right direction of your relationship, then yes, they need to get cut off. Or if you have a friend that's always hating on somebody's relationship, cut them off. Or, I just feel like you would know as a woman who needs to get cut off. If you have a guy friend who is constantly making you feel uncomfortable, cut him off. Even if you're single, cut him off. So there's different types of people you should cut off. But not just, oh, I'm married now, fuck everybody. Like, what? And that's why a lot of marriages fail too, because you expecting your husband to be your friend and your therapist, and he's not that. It's called balance. You gotta have a balance. Then you start resenting your husband because he don't want to talk to you 24/7. Or you start resenting your kids. I remember my mom, true story, I was 21. I moved out when I was 22. I was 21. I packed an overnight bag to go to a nigga house. I'm grown, right? I didn't have my baby. My son was in Jersey, mind you, with his father family. I'm grown, right? So she's sleeping. I never forget it. So she's sleeping. And yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so yes, balance is important. And oh yeah, so yeah, I was 21 and I packed an overnight bag to go to a nigga house, being 21, whatever. And my mom, she just said this. She said, how do you think I feel when your father ain't home, you out with your friends, and the baby's in Jersey? I said, well, that's not my fault, And I said all that to say this. You can't put all the pressures on your family because your family has a life, right? And that's the disconnect between me and my mom. Like, she wanted, and my father will always say that, like, yo, you need friends. Like, Crystal's not your friend, she's your daughter. She's not your shrink, like, So it's important to have that balance as a woman, because a man, he could be a good man, but guess what? He's going to have his friends. He's going to have his life. He's going to have his hobbies. You need to find yours, not just stuck up under him and your kids, because you're going to end up resenting them. And you're going to end up feeling, oh, they don't care about me. No, they care about you, but they got a life. Get your own. And those are my thoughts.